Hi, everyone. Welcome. It is night 2 of the visioning workshops, and we have so much goodness planned for tonight. Tonight is where we cast our 10-year visions and our 3-year visions. And if you've done this before, you know how enjoyable and expansive and just downright fun it is to cast these long-range visions. And if you've never done this before, I am so delighted that you're here. I am literally so excited for you, that you will get to see and meet your future self from 10 years from now and be in relationship with him or her, and then bring it even closer with a 3-year vision. We are in for a treat tonight. Go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're joining us from. If you were able to join us live yesterday, maybe share a takeaway of something that came up for you in 2025 reflection, or we did that first guided visualization yesterday. That was just a brief little teaser to teach you a little bit, kind of get your mind started. Share in the chat what came up for you as we keep going through the week and we keep reinforcing these messages in our mind and our heart and our body. That's when our body starts to say, hey, maybe this is possible for me. Hey, maybe this is real. And that's why I'm encouraging sharing so much. I am so excited you are here. My team will put the digital workbook in the chat. You should have that in your email as well, the same email that dropped you into here with the Zoom link. It's also in our pop-up Facebook community. Tonight we are going to be around pages 15 or so. Page 14 is the first night of day 2, and we'll go through several visualizations tonight. So have that ready, have your pens ready, have everything you need to really dedicate this time to yourself. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you that might be new to this world, maybe you were referred by a friend or a family member, I'm so grateful you're here. This is Visioning Week. I call it the 2026 Blueprint. My name is Dr. Elaine Stageberg. I am a wife of 15 years. I'm a mother of 5. My children are 10, 8, 5, 3, and 1. I am a psychiatrist. I trained at the Mayo Clinic, where I learned all about human development and psychology and therapy and personal growth. I'm a real estate investor. My husband and I started investing about 15 years ago with one single family home. It was the home that I lived in before we got married. And today we own and operate Black Swan Real Estate, which has $450 million in assets under management and about 550 passive investors, many of whom are on this call. So if you've invested with Black Swan, thank you for that trust in us and the company. I run several 7 and even 8-figure businesses. I also created Freedom and Legacy Blueprint MD. That's a coaching program for physicians and other high performance people. It's really kind of brings together all of the domains in my life. My work as a psychiatrist, a wife, a mom, a person, a studier of human development, real estate, investing, passive income, entrepreneurship, leadership, communication, you name it. I kind of package it all into there. And that's really what brings my life a ton of joy, is getting to run that coaching program. So many of the people who are here tonight have been in Freedom and Legacy for a year or longer, and they know the value of this Visioning Week, because we refer back to this week the entire year and we talk about, what did you write in your vision? What's in your vision? How do we turn that vision into reality? This is an important week for you. I am a big believer that if you spend just a few hours a night for 1 week of the year and you connect deeply to your future self, this 10-year vision of yourself, you bring it a little bit closer with a 3-year vision, you bring it really close with that 1-year vision, and then you make it very actionable and you put plans around it with quarterly planning, that can totally change the trajectory of your life. It's the difference between living a life by design and living a life by default, where another year passes and you're like, I don't know where the time went. And yeah, I'm doing okay, but I know that there's so much more out there. We want so much more for you than that. We want you to step into your life with joy and abundance and peace and harmony. And I want you to have the feeling that I get to have, that I kind of look around every night, and my husband Nick and I, we say to each other, another day in paradise, and not in a sarcastic way, in a way of like, I can't believe this is our life. I can't believe we just got to live that day, whatever that day was, right? Including the challenges, including the things that force us to grow and to strengthen our character. but living in alignment with our values and with our vision. So that's what Visioning Workshop Week is all about. Last night, we started with our 2025 reflection, and we did our first guided visualization. So if you joined us last night, I'm excited to continue the momentum. If you're new here tonight and you didn't have a chance to catch the replay today, fear not. You have not missed out. You're right where you need to be. Everything is great. I structure these workshops so that each of them does stand alone. I get it. We've got life, kids, work, clinic, you name it. I know that sometimes it can be hard to make it live every single night. So there is a story arc to the week, but each night does stand alone independently. Grab that replay, watch it when you're able to. There's a ton of goodness there, reflecting and getting all of the joy and wisdom and growth out of 2025, and then walking you through your first guided visualization. But you're right where you need to be tonight, and you've not missed anything. We'll get you through the night. You have everything in your workbook from night one, and the replay has already gone out to your email. If you're new to us from, say, the Facebook community or a friend, do make sure that you're registered. That's how we get the Zoom links to you, the workbook, and those replay emails. A couple of people have reached out to me today saying, hey, I didn't get the email. And then I checked and said, well, you're not registered. And that's how we email out all of those replay emails. So my team will put that link in the chat as well. Make sure you get registered so you get all those emails. Let me start our slides tonight so that we can take a look at our schedule, make sure we're all oriented for the week. All right. So last night we did our power of reflection, looking back to leap forward. Tonight we're on Tuesday, November 18th, designing your future, the vision beyond the horizon. And then we have 3 more structured activities for you this week. Tomorrow we are all in for a treat. Like, I am in for a treat as the facilitator. I cannot wait for the Freedom Framework, real life success stories. We are going to be joined by Dr. Aditi Reddy and Dr. Whaley Gray, 2 phenomenal human beings. Their introductions are in the Facebook group. You will be wowed by them. They are people who have taken visioning and applied it to their life and are living lives today that all of us would say, wow, I want more of that in my life. That's why I asked these ladies to come and be an example of what is possible for all of us. As someone who has studied human psychology for much of my life, I know that so much of our behavior is about the peer group that we surround ourselves with. And so as part of Visioning Week, I want you to see real people who have taken visioning and have created just absolute masterpieces in their life. And so that's what tomorrow is all about. It's a little bit more of kind of a rest part of the week. I still want you there taking notes, really being immersed in that amazing content, but we won't be doing any visualization tomorrow. It's more to receive and just kind of allow our brains to continue to think about what's possible for us as we look at these big, beautiful, expansive visions. And then on Thursday, we're going to bring it closer to home. So today we do 10-year and 3-year. On Thursday, we're going to do our 1-year vision. We're going to do our 2026 action plan. I am so excited about that. Last year, when we were doing our 2025 action plan, I just felt this like energetic connection to 2025, right? It's a quarter of a century. It's a special number. 2026 is the year that I turned 40. I have been thinking about this year since I was like 15 years old. I don't know why, but I just am so excited about this year, and I'm so excited to plan it with all of you. We're going to do our 1-year vision, really lock that in, bring home all the goodness from tonight, and then we'll do some quarterly planning. And then this year, for the first time ever in our visioning workshops, I've added a bonus implementation coaching. So this is Saturday, November 22nd at 11 a.m. Central. You'll still get your reminder emails and everything. We're going to do some implementation coaching where you work through any limiting beliefs that you have or any like obstacles that you think might be in your way so that you're ready for them. So that if and when they happen, you're like, I've got this. I am so committed to this vision for 2026. Nothing can stop me. Guys, this is a huge difference between someone that has a vision and is excited about it, and then the first struggle comes along, which inevitably happens. It happens to all of us. We're all human. And then they fold, versus someone that struggle comes along and they're like, game on, right? This is how I become a better person. This is how I forge my character. This is how I get over these challenges. So that's what we're going to do on Saturday. And then we'll also have the opportunity, we'll have a little more free time on Saturday that I want to do some implementation coaching. So that'll be an opportunity that you can raise your hand and come live and be coached with me and work through whatever it is that came up for you this week during Visioning Week. So I'm really excited about that Saturday session. I've never done that before in our visioning workshops, and I'm really looking forward to that. Tonight, we are in Designing Your Future, the Vision Beyond the Horizon. And if you're able to, go ahead and take a look at this picture here. This is Stonehaven Townhomes, my husband and I standing in front of Stonehaven Townhomes. And I share this because Stonehaven is really something for me that is a very tangible example of how visioning has worked in my life. My husband and I acquired Stonehaven Townhomes when it was 30 townhomes and then 10 acres of land. And we had to look out at that field that was just a field with dirt and weeds and say, we see here the expansion of this community. We see more townhomes. We see families living here. We see children. We see a playground. We see dogs running about. We see Christmas decorations and Halloween decorations and kids trick-or-treating. And that was like a real challenge for me. We had never built anything before in our real estate careers. It was the biggest undertaking by far that we had ever managed, both in terms of the logistics, the amount of capital that we needed to bring, how far we needed to stretch ourselves. And I'm so grateful for that experience because it really taught me what it was like to look out at something blank and see something real. And so that picture where Nick and I are, looking at the completed community of Stonehaven Townhomes is for me a real tangible example of visioning. And that's why I use the blueprint on the back of all of the pages, that subtle nod to the fact that we are the architects of our life. Just like an architect has to help you create a building, you are an architect who can create the reality that you want in your life. You first have to see it and draw it and design it, and then you go out and you create it. That's what we're going to do tonight. I'm so excited. Get ready. We are going to be on page 18 and 19 of the workbook. So go ahead and get that out. Have that ready. Have it available for you. Make sure you have your favorite pen or pencil, but just set that aside for right now. We're going to do a little brief teaching about the guided visualization. For those of you who were here last night, it's going to be a little bit of a review. For those of you that weren't here last night, we're going to bring you right up to speed. And then I'm going to drop you into your 10-year visualization. This is like the fun, exciting part of our night. Like it's kind of work, but it's joyful work. It's where we get to create. We get to be the masters of our own lives. So these are the 4 things that we want to be thinking about when we're thinking about a guided visualization. Let me assure you, there is no wrong way to do a guided visualization. First, when you're doing a visualization, you want to shift your state. What that means is anything that you brought into this space. For many of us, this is the evening or the middle of the afternoon if you're on the West Coast. Let all of that go, right? You can deal with the text messages and the pages and the to-do list and the laundry and those things in just an hour's time. I promise you it will be there. Let that go. Start taking some deep breaths. Start relaxing your jaw, shaking out your shoulders. If you want to get up and have a good long stretch, elongate that spine, get some endorphins spreading through you, go ahead and start to do that. Grab your water. You want to go into visioning feeling good about yourself, feeling energized, feeling calm, feeling centered, feeling present. I'm going to do some sharing about the greats like Oprah Winfrey and Steve Jobs and their take on visioning as we transition into our 10-year vision to start to get us more into state, because a 10-year vision is a big deal, right? I want you all feeling as good as possible going into your 10-year vision. So shift your state first. In a guided visualization, you're activating your identity, not just your imagination. So I want you seeing things, I want you seeing pictures or still images or little movies. I want you feeling things. I want you connecting to your emotions and to your intuition. And I want you to be thinking about, who are you as a person? Humans rarely make information based on decisions. We sometimes make information based on, or sometimes make decisions based on emotion. We almost always make our decisions based on identity, based on the sentence, I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a high performer, I am this. That's what we want to be activating as we're connecting with our future selves. We want to make the future sensory and specific. The more you can see it, feel it, hear it, taste it, see who's there, hear what's around you. I'll kind of call out to you things like, what are you doing? What are you wearing? Who's around you? What are the facial expressions? And I do that so that your mind can make your guided visualization as specific as possible. Sometimes it feels a little hazy, and that's okay. Still enjoy the feeling, go into it as much as possible. But to the extent possible, I want you to make your visualizations as sensory and as specific as possible. And you'll hear me guiding that with the language through the night. And then anchor it into the emotional home. When we connect to our identity, when we connect to emotion, that's what helps us to transform ourselves. That's what helps our brain to say, oh, I do really want this. Oh, this is really important. Oh, I can make this happen. Oh, if it's possible for someone else, it's possible for me. I'll figure this out. I'll find a way. I've got time to work on this. So we want to anchor the emotional experience of the visualization as much as possible. That's what we'll be doing with our 10-year visualization and our 3-year visualization. If you're driving or something where you're not able to close your eyes and really drop into your body, just listen podcast style, but then do yourself a favor and go back when we send out the replay and get yourself to a place where you can sit comfortably, where you can close your eyes, where you can really get into the visualization so that you can have that full immersive experience. And for everyone who is able to get yourself into that calm, comfortable, seated position with eyes closed, go ahead and do that. Make sure you have your workbook ready, have your pen ready. At first, we're going to do a closed eye visualization for about 6 or 7 minutes. And then I'll prompt you to open your eyes and start journaling in your workbook in the 8 domains in life on page 18 and 19. But first, we'll do closed eye. What you'll see in your workbook on page 18 and 19, you'll see that it's your vision blueprint. And at the top, you'll see meet yourself from 2035. So that's where we are doing our 10-year vision. And then the next pages, 20 and 21, you'll see it looks almost exactly the same. It's our 8 categories, and it says vision blueprint at the top, but it says 2029. So that's where we will do our 3-year visualization. So by the end of the night, we'll have these 4 pages completely filled out. First, by doing it with an eyes closed process in that guided visualization. And then partially you'll have eyes open, you'll start to journal, and I'll continue to guide you through. People often underestimate what they can do in a 10-year period. They maybe overestimate what they can do in a 1-year period or something like a quarter or a 1-month period, but they underestimate what you can do in 10 years. And I really like a 10-year time frame because it takes us out of the head. When we do something, if we just dove like straight into, say, just a 2026 vision, and that was all that we did in the visioning workshops, you'd still get a ton of benefit out of that because so few of the population are doing any sort of forward planning or thinking, but you'd really be in your head. You'd really be thinking in like, can I really make that happen? Is that really possible? Do I really have the resources for that? When we do these longer range visions, a 10-year vision, it's far enough out that we dip out of our head and we go into the heart and the body instead, and we start to think about what we really want, who we really are, what our identity really is. And our mind doesn't bother us as much with things like, is that possible or can I do that? Because your mind might offer up to you that thought, but then it'll also kind of quickly offer up to you the thought like, hey, I've got 10 years to work on this. Like, I can probably figure it out in 10 years. That's the energy that I want you to be in. I want you to be in the energy of your identity. I want you to be in the energy of your heart, of your body. If your mind offers up to you limiting beliefs, just say, thank you, mind, for offering me that thought. I've got 10 years to make this happen, and this is what I really want, and I'll figure it out. So go ahead and have everything ready so that when I cue you to open your eyes, you have your workbook and your pen there, and you're ready to start journaling. But go ahead and make yourself comfortable, relax your jaw, shake out your shoulders, maybe stretch your spine one more time, get yourself into a nice, comfortable position. We're going to do about a 6 or 7 minute guided visualization for 10 years. I'm going to start by reading some quotes about visioning from the greats, and then I'll guide you through our 10-year visualization. Guys, ready? Here we go. It's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to hear about what you're creating. So why is visioning so important? Proverbs 29, verse 18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Helen Keller says, "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision." Jonathan Swift says, "Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others." Tonight, you can see what might be invisible to others, but what you know is real on your heart and what you know you're committed to creating. Dr. Stephen Covey says, "Everything is created twice, first in the mind, then in reality." And Oprah Winfrey encourages you, create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life because you become what you believe. You become what you believe. If you want to build a ship, don't drum up the men to gather wood. Instead, teach them to long for the endless immensity of the sea. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. That comes from Eleanor Roosevelt. And then finally, Peter Drucker says, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." So that's what we're going to do here together tonight, my friends. Go ahead and close your eyes, drop into your body. Be fully present here. Be open, be ready to receive, be eager for possibility and opportunity. Be ready to say yes to your future self. You're going to get to meet him or her tonight and have a date with your future self. Meet yourself from 2035. See yourself in whatever setting just lights up your heart. Are you meeting yourself in your living room? Are you meeting yourself in a beautiful place in the world, maybe somewhere you already know and love? Maybe a new place you haven't yet been to, but you'll be in the next 10 years. Get yourself into that setting and see the present day version of yourself and your 10-year future self walking toward each other like long lost friends with a sense of joy and anticipation and love, like you are so eager to meet one another. You go up to your future self from 2035 and look deeply into his or her eyes. How close are you standing together? Do you feel like you just have to hug this person? Feel the love they have for you. They are you, but with even more love, even more experience, even more joy, even more abundance, even more expertise, even more of everything that already makes you wonderful. And there's this just magical sense of, oh my gosh, it's me, but even better. It's so cool to meet you. It's so cool to have this time with you. And your future self is so eager to serve. Your future self has longed to talk to you. Your future self has so much to tell you. You just need to listen with an expectant heart, with an open heart, a joyful heart. This version of you from 10 years from now already has it all figured out. Let them show you exactly what they know. As you think about the 8 domains in life, mastering time and energy, thrive in health and vitality, awaken growth and spirit, deepen relationships, align purpose and fulfillment, build intentional wealth, design life and habits, grow through community. Ask yourself, your future self, what is it that you want me to know about these domains in my life? And as you breathe, you may notice how easy it is to imagine that this life is already unfolding for you. You might find it surprisingly natural to step into a future where you are more you than ever before. The unique things that make you you, your future self is that magnified. See how your future self wakes up in the morning. See what your future self knows about the 10 years between now and then. What's been great for you? Who are the people in your life? The meaningful relationships? Maybe there are people in your life that today you don't even know them yet. You don't even know their name. Maybe they're not even born yet. Maybe they're born and they're living somewhere in a different state or a different part in the world, but you know them now. A partner, a spouse, a friend, a coworker, a child. Who is in your life 10 years from now? What have you created? What is the version of you from 2025 so excited to tell you about? We did it. We did the thing. What's the thing? What did you create? What did you do? How are you spending your time? You wake up in the morning. What do you do after that? What's a normal Tuesday look like? What are all of these special events, the once in a lifetime events that have happened between now and 10 years from now? A place in the world, a milestone, an accomplishment, charitable giving, an award, recognition, whatever it is that's coming up for you in any of the domains in your life, your future self is overjoyed and saying, we did it, we did it. Right? It's like they have a cell phone or a picture book or whatever it is for you, and they're scrolling through it, they're flipping through it, and they're showing you, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. Feel it, embody it, know that you and your future self are one and the same. Let your future self show you what you already know. Let your future self reveal to you who you were always meant to be. And you can give yourself permission to step fully into who you're becoming now. That's what your future self wants so desperately for you. Hey, I am you. We're one and the same. You can have this now. You don't have to wait 10 years. Let me share this wisdom with you. Let me share this insight. Let me share this guidance, this experience. Allow the strength of your future self to flow back into who you are right now. What does your future self from 10 years from now want you to know? In just another minute or so, I'm going to invite you to open your eyes, and you'll start going through the 8 categories, and you'll connect with your future self in each of these 8 categories. And just be in conversation with your future self. Hear your future self giving you wisdom and insight. And as you connect with this vision, as you see it fully, you experience it, you connect with the emotion of it, with the identity of it, something inside you may click and may say, yes, this is it. Your mind can accept how possible that truly is. Let your mind accept. Give yourself permission to dream larger than feels reasonable. Let me say that again because it's so important. Give yourself permission to dream larger than feels reasonable. You've got 10 years. Think of how long 10 years is. You've got 10 years. Give yourself permission to dream larger than feels reasonable. And when you feel ready, come back to the present moment. Go ahead and open your eyes. Stay in this visioning energy. Stay in this kind of subconscious, conscious space. Grab your pen or paper. Grab your workbook, page 18 and 19, your vision blueprint, meet yourself from 2035, and start to go through those 8 categories and ask yourself, what does the me of 2035 want to know about each of these categories? How am I mastering my time and energy? That might be things like, what is my morning routine? How much am I sleeping? What's on my calendar? A really important question is, what's not on my calendar anymore? How do you keep your energy high? Thrive in health and vitality. I want the version of you 10 years from now to be even healthier than the version of you today. Stronger, more capable, able to go places and do things and hike and carry the groceries and pick up the kids and pick up the grandkids and walk the dog and do all the things that you want to do. What does your future self want you to know about health and vitality? Awaken growth and spirit. The you from 10 years from now is you, with all of the beauty of someone who comes to visioning workshops and connects to yourself and commits to yourself. Even better, even more of you, even more of your identity. Do you have a faith practice, a spiritual practice, a meditation practice? Have you done a pilgrimage? Have you done a long walk? There's many long pilgrimage walks in the world. Maybe you've done something like that. Maybe you've moved forward in your faith in a way that maybe the present day you feels a little scared or uncertain about, but you have a level of certainty or conviction in this 10-year future version of yourself. Imagine how much easier everything becomes when you are aligned with this version of yourself. Deepen relationships. Who's there? Who is in the picture scroll or the photo book? People you already know, you already have relationships with. They're still in your life, you still love them, you're even closer, you're doing great. Maybe a relationship right now that feels a little challenging. In 10 years' time, there can be a lot of healing, a lot of growth. Maybe there's new relationships, people whose names we don't even know. Who's out there? Who's ready to meet you? Describe them. What are their qualities? What are their characteristics? How do they behave? How do you behave when you're around them? How do you feel when you're around them? This is a big one, aligning purpose and fulfillment. In yesterday's workshop, I talked about this is the place where we really get exponential growth. We take those first 4 building blocks and the 8 domains in life, and everything just kind of comes together. It's just like a puzzle. It just clicks, bam, feels good. We get exponential growth. Notice the calm and the confidence and the clarity and the ability to make big decisions quickly that your future self has, because you've aligned with your purpose, you've aligned with your fulfillment. Your calendar and your habits and your health and your vitality and your spirituality, they reflect your values. So everything is easy, even the hard things. It's not that it's magic. It's not that we're whitewashing it or sunshine and rainbows. It's that when you're living in alignment with your values, you get this sense of energy that propels you forward. You're pulled into the future. There's less push, more pull. You might feel what you want to build in your life, in partnership, in community, in a room where you're rising with others. Building intentional wealth. That's a great place to put some numbers on your future self. And my encouragement to you, whatever the number is, double it, triple it, put a 0 on it. You've got 10 years. You've got 10 years to work with. I want you to take whatever number is coming up for you, and I want you to double it or triple it. And if it feels like, I don't know if I should write that down, write it down. Write it down. There's so many people in this group that are living proof, myself included, that you write it down and you come back in the future and you look at it and you're like, how could that be? How did that happen? And yet it did. I can't explain it. I don't take any credit for that. I just encourage and evangelize, write it down. Write down or better or more, at least. Put those qualifiers on things for your wealth. Wealth is a reflection of the energy that you're exchanging in the universe. Go into this with an abundant mindset. You can't create wealth from a scarcity mindset. Go into it with as much abundant mindset as you can muster up tonight. You've got the backing of your 10-year future self tonight. Design your life and habits. Let your future self guide your next step. The steps that guide you into this next decade. How do you show up on a daily basis? A weekly basis, a monthly basis? Are you doing the visioning workshops every single year because you know how powerful it is to connect with your future self? You don't have to walk this next decade alone. As you imagine this life and the design and the habits that you're creating, notice who's walking with you, who's guiding you, who's celebrating with you. Notice how much easier everything becomes. That's been a big one for me over the last several years, so I keep mentioning it. Notice how much easier everything becomes when you experience alignment. And then grow through community. You can look back at the deepen relationships. And this is where you can expand it even more. Your friend circle, your peer circle, a coach, a mentor, a mastermind. You don't have to go it alone. Like-minded high performers that want to support you, that are excited, that nudge you toward your future self, even when you feel uncertain or worried or you're not sure. Ask your future self for all of this goodness. Let's take another minute or so and just enjoy the silence together. Just listen to our future selves and be writing that down in 18 and 19 of your workbook. This is the good stuff, you guys. And that's our 10-year vision. Keep that energy going. Take a deep breath. You can close your eyes again if you want to. I want you to stay in this expanded space, this 10-year vision, for just a moment longer, because you just met the version of you who is living the life you were meant for. Like, how good does that feel, right? And this version of you is always available to you. He or she is always available. You can develop the skill of visioning and you can summon this version of you whenever you want. You can be in a deep relationship with this version of you, the version of you who refuses to shrink, who no longer negotiates on the potential that you know is within you, the version of you who has raised your standards and knows exactly what it is that you want to create in this life, or more or better, right? But here's the truth. This is the truth about our future selves. Most people meet this future self, and even if it's really enjoyable, and even if you get a lot out of it, they feel it for a flicker of a moment, and then they go back to life as usual, right? There's so many things that pull us into our daily lives, our environment, our habits, patterns, the ping of the cell phone, the emails, the to-do list, the groceries, the laundry, all the things. People get pulled back into a life of default instead of a life by design. But I know that you are here because you're someone who knows you are not meant for the default path. There's something in you that said, visioning workshops, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for more. I'm ready to create 2026 and beyond, my 10-year vision, my 3-year vision, hear from others that have done it, make it real in my 1-year vision. I'm ready for more. I'm ready to stop playing small. I'm ready to stop building the life that others expect of me and build what it is that I really want to build, what's in alignment with my values and my identity, to build the life that I know that I am capable of. All of that is true for all of you here who have spent the time coming to visioning workshops. And for the last 7 years, I've done this exact visioning framework that you just experienced. I talked to you about Stonehaven. It's the exact process that has allowed my husband, Nick, and I to go from one single family home to a portfolio of about 450 million, which is like feels surreal for me to say. That's why when the number things come up, I say, pick a bigger number, put a 0 on it, multiply it. It's because I've experienced that in my own life. And that's what I want you to experience too. All the while claiming time freedom, all the while building a marriage that is outside of my wildest imaginations, that's so close and so emotionally attuned and so loving, and raising this big, beautiful family that we've been envisioning for 10 plus years now, that's been hard fought. I've had tons of pregnancies, I've had tons of complications, and now we have these 5 beautiful children that we get to experience life with. All of this comes through the power of visioning, of connecting with our future selves over and over and over again, putting ourselves into supportive communities, into supportive containers, and building a life that at one point feels like a dream. And even many times today, I look around, I'm like, I can't believe this is my life. This feels like a dream. And none of that is because we're special. None of that is because we're different. This is something that's available to all of us as humans, this ability to connect with the future and to do so in a peer group. Those are 2 things that separate us from all other animals. We're not living just on instinct. We're not living just on impulse. We can build a future in our mind's eye, put language to it, put journaling to it so that it becomes real, build a structure and a support system because we're social beings, and then use all of those components to create that future. It's the special thing about us that makes us humans. And we do this in a container. The container that I want to offer to you is Freedom and Legacy Blueprint MD. This is really the joy of my life. Many of you who are here tonight are in Freedom and Legacy, and you know how much joy it fills me with to be together each week, to see these visions come true week after week after week, year in and year out. I like to say that freedom and legacy is where identity becomes inevitable. It's where you stop trying to change your life alone, and you do it in a room where everyone around you is rising, where everyone is committed to these big, expansive visions. And you've got people behind you that are saying, you can do it, and I believe in you, and here's a resource, and call this person, or I've tried this thing, and this worked for me. And when you feel yourself faltering a little bit, because we all do as humans, you've got these cheerleaders behind you, and then it flips, right? Then other times you're cheering other people on and saying, hey, I believe in you because you believed in me when I needed it. You rise together. That's what Freedom and Legacy is all about. It's where you get coached deeply, powerfully, precisely. We meet once a week. We have open frame coaching. You raise your hand, you get coached on pretty much anything that's in your vision, because I'm a big believer that these 8 domains in life, they all go together. When one rises, they all rise. When one falls, they can all start to crumble. And so we coach on time management, we coach on communication, leadership, entrepreneurship, passive income, real estate, single family homes, large multifamily, GP, you name it, right? People raise their hand, and I never know as a coach, what are they going to ask tonight? But I go into all of it joyfully, because when we come into ourselves as whole people, and we get to experience all of the domains of our life, when there's improvement in one area, there's this improvement in other areas. And when you meet the you in your 10-year vision, you're aligned one step at a time, right? And you have a supportive community and a supportive structure and container week in and week out to keep guiding you back to that vision. So if tonight's vision stirred something inside of you, if it made you feel alive and excited and joyful and hopeful, that's your inner knowing. That's your inner knowing saying, I'm ready. And enrollment in Freedom and Legacy has not been open for a year. And tonight we're opening it. Tonight's a big night. We're officially opening Freedom and Legacy for our 2026 cohort. There's a fast action bonus that's only available until 11:59 Central tonight to reward those of you that have showed up live and have committed to creating your visions tonight. So if there's a part of your inner knowing that's saying yes, honor it. Honor the future self that has already crossed the threshold. And now it's your turn. We're going to go into our 3-year visions, but if you'll allow me, I just want to take a few minutes to tell you about this huge passion project of mine, this Freedom and Legacy Blueprint MD. It has changed hundreds of lives, and I promise you that it will change yours too. We're not just in Freedom and Legacy for information. Remember, I say information rarely changes your decisions, emotions a little bit. What really changes your decisions, what really changes your life is identity and transforming and connecting with your future self. And one of the things that I think is really special about Freedom and Legacy is our renewal rate. 88% of members renew year after year. Frederick Reichheld, who's a scholar around consumer behavior, says loyalty is the ultimate measure of customer value received. When you think about people who come back to Freedom and Legacy year after year, that's showing you very clearly the value that we create there, the transformation that we create. I like to think about, for everybody that comes into Freedom and Legacy, I want them to get at least a 100x ROI, but so much more is like indescribable in terms of relationships and communications and being heart-centered and feeling open and expansive. I want to share these quotes from 3 of the amazing people who are in Freedom and Legacy. Dr. Ilana Levine says, Freedom and Legacy Blueprint was so impactful that after the first cohort, I knew immediately I was going to sign up for the second cohort because I knew the impact would just be exponential. Dr. Laura Hayes says, Freedom and Legacy Blueprint has been life-changing for me. I now have a clear, compelling vision for my future and the skills to bring that vision to reality. Since joining the program, I've experienced incredible growth in my health, relationships, career, and finances. The community feels like family, and I am so happy that I decided to join. And Dr. Manpreet Samra says, there is nothing to think about. Trust me, join Freedom and Legacy Blueprint MD. It will change your life. I love hearing from those ladies because I think they capture what we're all about in Freedom and Legacy, of connecting to our vision, creating exponential value, getting impact in all the different domains of life, having a community to do it together. Let's talk about the structure, the logistics, right? This is the structure that supports you in your transformation. I can tell you that the real value is who you become. The real value is connecting to those future visions and making it real and bringing it closer and having very actionable plans to get there. Freedom and Legacy becomes a lifestyle. Freedom and Legacy becomes an identity. And this is the structure and the support and the container that we use to get you there. Inside of our course platform in Kajabi, we have a momentum accelerator and a foundational series, a couple of 100 videos on all the various domains in life: communication, leadership, relationships. There's 2 real estate courses, one about starting real estate from scratch and scaling a portfolio, another about scaling as a general partner if you want to do larger deals in real estate. We build real estate investing mastery right into the program. A lot of you came to know me through Black Swan Real Estate, and you're building your own passive income and your wealth. And I think that's a huge part of that freedom piece of freedom and legacy. So we have the real estate courses, we have quarterly real estate calls. At any week in the open coaching, you can raise your hand and ask real estate questions, and I guide people through their first investment, their next investment, all sorts of scale. We have weekly group coaching. We have access to world-class guest coaches who are just absolutely phenomenal. And when you come into Freedom and Legacy, you get the whole vault of all of our guest coaches going back several years. We do monthly net worth coaching so that you're consistently checking in with your financial metrics, and what you measure is what you can manage. We have quarterly wisdom circles so that you can be together with the wisdom and the experience and the abundance of the amazing people in the community. We do blueprints, which are member-led sessions, where our members themselves are the guest coaches and they bring their expertise. We just had one a couple of weeks ago. It was actually by Alana Levine, where she spoke about meditation and Reiki and some of these like right brain modalities, and everyone just raved about it and felt like they learned so much from her experience. We have a really active community both on Facebook and on WhatsApp. There's chatter there every single day. People are supporting each other with marriages and parenting and health and eating enough protein and real estate deals, and you name it. People are supporting each other every single day in the WhatsApp community. We also put all of it in a private podcast so that if you want to listen podcast style to the replays, it's easy peasy. You can listen as you're driving or walking the dog or doing the dishes. As part of your membership in Freedom and Legacy, you get 4 complimentary tickets to a Black Swan Real Estate's flagship program, which is Real Estate Real Life 2026. That's our event here in Rochester, Minnesota, September 17th to the 20th. You'll get 2 general admission tickets so that you can join us in person. And then you'll also have 2 virtual tickets that you can share with a friend, or if you need to attend virtually, you could do that. And then you could gift your general admission tickets to someone else. This is a great way to bring together the real estate world, the freedom and legacy world. We talk about the power of compounding. We talk about goal setting in a little bit of a different way from the visioning workshops. We do a breathwork experience. We tour the portfolio. It's really just, it's like my favorite week of the year. I literally can't wait until September. And then we also have a Freedom and Legacy only event that would be an additional ticket, and you would be invited to that. It's tentatively scheduled for November of 2026. I'm working on finalizing the details and the location. Last year, we went to Zion National Park. We rented a huge, like a wedding venue. It was like very large Airbnb so that we were all together. We did coaching during the day. We went on a beautiful hike. We had a pool and a sauna, essentially just a private resort. It was really just a beautiful experience. And then spouses and partners are included in your membership. That's always been very important to me. My relationship with Nick has been such an important part of my own life and my own growth. And it was just very clear to me right back when I first created Freedom and Legacy that I wanted spouses to be able to participate. Some spouses fully participate and are on every single call. Others participate here and there, maybe if there's a real estate question or a finance question or during our relationship week. But however your spouse or partner wants to participate is highly encouraged. And then new this year, I'm excited to share that we are approved for 30 hours of AMA Category 1 CME. So that is super exciting. You'll be able to get your CME so that you can work on your professional development while you're working on your personal development. And what I want to do is speak directly to the part of you that's wondering, like, can you do this? Is something like this possible for you? And I'll tell you that the truth is, people don't fail because they're not smart enough or they're not disciplined enough. They fail or they stagnate because they try to do it alone. And the human mind being what it is, we get so distracted into the pings and the dings in life, is what I like to call them. And before we know it, another day has passed, another week has passed, and we feel like we're coming kind of further and further away from this future version of ourselves. And they fail because they try to go it alone. And the reason I created Freedom and Legacy Blueprint is so that people don't have to be without support. They don't have to be without structure. You can be in a room that pulls you forward. Freedom and Legacy was built to remove all of that friction, to be safe. It's simple. It's guided. You don't have to figure out everything on your own. You don't have to wonder what to do next. You don't have to stagnate and flounder. You don't have to hide the parts of you that feel stuck or unsure or behind or overwhelmed. All of those parts of you are real and are part of your real human experience. And when you're in a community with a coach and a container and consistency, everything becomes so much simpler. Everything becomes so much easier. Every step is led, every question is answered, every challenge is easier. You're in a container where you can't get lost. You're in a container where you can't fall behind, where you can't disappear into the margins. You can't get swept up into the mundane things of life and completely disconnect from your future self for weeks or months on end. You're held and you're seen and you're guided, and you're a special part of that community and a special part of that support. So when life gets complicated, because it always does, that always happens, it's a foregone conclusion in our lives, you have a community and a coach and a structure that continually leads you back to your center. One of the things that we do in Freedom and Legacy as well is our quarterly, what I call vision alignment calls, where we pull out these exact visions. We'll pull out our 1-year vision and we'll talk about what's going well, what are you stuck on, what needs to happen for this quarter. So few people do any sort of goal setting or visioning at all. And then a smaller percentage still actually checks in with their vision. And when you have a structured, supportive container and coach to check in with your vision on a weekly basis, on a quarterly basis, in a structured, supportive way, it exponentially increases your chances of creating that future version of yourself and bringing that version into reality. In Freedom and Legacy, your next step is always clear. You're always supported. Your next step is always possible. Before we talk about the next steps, I'd like to share the investment with you. And I share this with so much complete confidence because I know the value, I know the support, the transformation, the community, the return on investment, both tangible and intangible. I think as a coach, how can I get every single person in Freedom and Legacy to have at least a 100x ROI, plus all of the things that are, indescribable and impossible to put a price on? The investment for Freedom and Legacy is $15,000 for the full year. It's actually 13 months because we get started right in December of 2025 with 2 additional bonus calls for this year. And then we go all the way through 2026. And if you prefer a payment plan, we do have that option as well. We have a payment plan which is 4 monthly payments of $39.99. And you can see all of that at freedomandlegacyblueprint.com, or you can scan the QR code. And then both of those options include spouse or partner participation included right in that same pricing. And both of those options include that 30 hours of Category 1 CME. And when I think about making this investment, right? This could very well be like the most important investment of your life. We don't have an 88% renewal rate by accident, right? The typical renewal rate in a program like this might be somewhere between 25 and 35%. So our renewal rate is literally almost 2.5, 3x higher than normal, because we're not here to talk about information. We're not here to talk about tasks and adding things on your to-do list. We're here to be in connection with your future self, with clarity, leadership, relationships, confidence, wealth, personal power, and that word that I keep saying over and over and over, identity, with who you know you really are, and then having the community and the support and the connection, and you're investing in a decade of momentum to make it so that you can meet this future version of yourself even faster with even more certainty. This version of you that showed up in your vision tonight, the version of you that's living the life that you know you are meant to live. I have so many stories in Freedom and Legacy. People have started marriages, ended marriages that they know didn't serve them, bought new houses, bought investment properties, have done things that they never thought were possible, have gotten through challenges like the death of very close loved ones, have started new relationships, have deepened relationships with their spouse or their children, raises, changed their work structure, the hours that they worked, started new businesses, completely revamped and brought businesses back to life. Like, you name it, it has happened. And that's why I'm so committed to week in and week out over the past many years being with Freedom and Legacy and doing the weekly coaching, because I get so much joy out of it. Like, it's just such a pleasure for me to get to ask people, like, tell me about your future self. I want to meet this version. Okay, let's create it together every single week. And then I get to see it happen, and we get to see it in community, and we get to be in the WhatsApp group and share in the daily wins and the daily challenges. I've never met someone who has regretted joining Freedom and Legacy, but I have met people who said, I wish I did it sooner. We only open enrollment once a year so that we can be together for the whole year. If there's something in you that feels like this is an inkling for you, there's a knowing, there's a sense that maybe this is the next step for you, it would be an absolute honor to have you in Freedom and Legacy. And because you're here and you have committed to your 10-year vision, and you've shown up live, and you've built this space in your calendar, and you've opened your heart, and you've said yes to your future, I want to let you know about our fast action bonuses. The first 5 people who sign up for Freedom and Legacy before 11:59 Central get a deep dive one-on-one call with me that you can redeem whenever you would like in 2026. And then also a personalized guided recorded visualization. So I'll meet with you, I'll do an interview, I'll talk to you about what's most meaningful to you. Do you want a visualization about connecting with your future self, or your health, or your wealth, or your relationships? I've written guided visualizations for every topic under the sun, and I customize it specific to you. How long you want it to be? Do you want it to be a 25-minute thing that you can really be immersed in? Do you want it to be a quick 7-minute thing so that you can listen to it every single morning as you're getting ready? The first 5 people who sign up get that one-on-one call with me that you can redeem at any time in 2026, and then that personalized, recorded, guided visualization. So those are our fast action bonuses for people that know this is a heck yes. In the back of your workbook, you will find, starting on page 36, all of the details about Freedom and Legacy. You can also see all of it at freedomandlegacyblueprint.com. My team will make sure you have some emails that go out tonight as well, so that you can sign up for the program if this is a heck yes for you. Learn all about it. If you have any questions, let us know. Myself, Rachel, Marie, we're all here for you. If you have any questions, you can respond to any text message that you've received from us, respond to any email, shoot Rachel a message here in chat, send us a DM on Facebook, whatever it is that you need. If you feel ready to join Freedom and Legacy and you want to be one of the first 5 who takes advantage of this fast action bonus, I look forward to seeing those names and seeing who I'm going to have calls with in 2026 and who we're going to make some visualizations for. Let's take a deep breath. Let's sink back into our bodies, sink back into connecting with our future selves. No pressure, no urgency, just awareness. Your future self knows exactly what is right for you. And whether or not you choose Freedom and Legacy tonight, I want you to leave tonight with something that is priceless, something that you can't put a value on. And that is the clarity for the next 3 years of your life. We're going to take all of that expansive goodness of our 10-year vision, all of that range and wonder and the exponential growth and the sense of course I can accomplish that. I have 10 years to work with. We're going to take all of that and we're going to bring it a little bit closer. We're going to put the structure around what's the first chunk that needs to happen, the first major leap, so that we can get into that 10-year future. This is your 3-year vision. You will find this on pages 20 and 21 of your workbook. And it'll be very similar to your 10-year vision. First, we're going to do it with eyes closed. I'm going to guide you through the process, and then we'll open our eyes. I'll continue to guide you through it. We'll have some silent time for journaling. There's likely a quiet knowing in you that says, this is my time. The things that came up for you in your 10-year vision, there's likely at least one thing that you're like, oh, I don't want to wait 10 years for that. How can I have that now? How can I create that now? Maybe it's a habit or a way of being or a feeling that you have. Maybe you feel more calm, more centered, more loving, more grounded. Maybe it's an experience that you want to have, a place you want to visit in the world. It's different for everyone. That's the beautiful thing about our visualizations, is they're about our identity, about who we really are. And if you remember to yesterday, it's in the workbook as well. One of my favorite quotes by Paulo Coelho is the universe wants us to manifest who we really are. That's our obligation to the universe. So let's do that with our 3-year vision. You can go ahead and drop back into your body, shake your jaw out, relax your shoulders, take a stretch, right? We've been sitting for a little while. Make sure your posture's good. Have your workbook and your pen nearby, but we're gonna do closed eye first. When you feel ready, go ahead and close your eyes, drop into your heart, expand your heart. Say hello there, friend. And you might find that you drop into this one a little faster because we've already primed it with our 10-year vision. And we'll have that same experience, that same sense of knowing. Find yourself wherever you would like to find yourself. Maybe it's your living room. I moved into our dream home 5 years ago, and I see my 3-year future self just having a coffee with myself on my couch in my living room, looking out at the woods. Maybe it's a beautiful place in the world where you feel more connected to yourself and more alive, and maybe even more connected to the universe or your creator than anywhere else you've been. But put yourself into that spot and see your future self. This is you on January 1st, 2029, a knowable date. See yourself flipping the calendar. Right now it's November 18th of 2025. Flip the calendar about 36 months and get to the square in the calendar that's January 1st of 2029. And there you are, the present version today with your future self in this place that's special to you. And you both point to that square, and there's this sense of knowing with each other. A little grin, a little wink, a little nudge of, oh, here we are. Here we are together. We have so much to share with each other. Your future self is so eager to love you and to guide you and to connect with you and to provide you with wisdom and a sense of direction and a sense of what's up ahead, to guide you even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. And this version of you from January 1st of 2029 is a different flavor of the same version of you from 2035. And this version of you already knows the conversation and already knows everything that was on your heart from 2035 and everything that flowed through your mind and flowed through your heart and flowed through your pen when you picked up the workbook and you journaled. He or she also knows the things that maybe you were a little afraid to write. Maybe you wanted to, but there was a part of you that held it back a little bit. And this is your chance to say, no, we can make this happen. We can do this. I believe in us. I'll figure it out. I'll find a way. I'll surround myself with the people and the resources and the mentorship to make it happen. And as you're connecting with this future self on January 1st of 2029, this future self knows your next steps, knows what needs to happen to get you from here to there as this major leap toward your 10-year vision. Look deeply into the eyes of your future self, into his eyes, into her eyes. And maybe you offer a word of love. Maybe you simply say, I love you. I am so grateful for you. You have always been there for me. You've gotten me through the challenges. You've celebrated the joys. I can't wait to see what we create in the next 3 years. I am so excited about what we're going to create in the next 10 years. Let's get going. Let's make it happen. Let's make it real. And ask yourself with an open heart, a joyful heart, a vulnerable heart, and say, self, on January 1st of 2029, tell me what I have created. Tell me what I will experience. Tell me about my time and my energy. Tell me about my health and my vitality. Tell me about my growth and my spirit, my relationships. Tell me all about my purpose and my fulfillment. You likely have an inner sense of knowing, and this future version of you knows it even more deeply. Listen to them, borrow their conviction, borrow their belief in you. Let them guide you, let them lead you. They're all of the goodness of you with none of the stuff of our heads, none of the drama, none of the limiting beliefs. On January 1st, 2029, what have you created in your intentional wealth? 3 years is long enough that you can completely change the game. I've seen it time and time and time again. Your future self has a sense of abundance. We did it. We created it. Here it is. He or she has your bank account or your balance sheet or your investment schedule or your schedule of real estate owned. Look at it. He or she's pulling it out of their pocket right now and handing it to you and saying, here it is. Would you believe this? The numbers are real. They're right in front of your eyes. What does your future self know about your life and habits? A morning habit comes up for high performers time and time again because it's so critical. What does your future self want you to know about the mornings? Maybe your future self wants to see you every morning, even if it's just for 60 seconds, 2 minutes. Maybe your future self is offering to you, hey, write it down and record it and listen to it, because I have so much wisdom for you. And if you listen to me every day, I will never lead you astray. What are your lifestyle and habits? And then what does your future self know about your community? Who are the people around you? Who are your peers? Who's supporting you? Who's cheering you on? Who's dusting you off when life gets hard? Who's coaching you? Who's mentoring you? Who's loving you? And see all of these things as vividly as you can imagine them. For some of you, you may see pictures. Maybe it's black and white, maybe it's color. Some of you may see little snippets of movies, almost as though you're truly glimpsing the future. For many of you, you may not necessarily see something, but you'll feel a presence. You'll feel a certain sense of awareness. Connect with that emotion, really feel it. And in all of this, there you are, you and you. You're pointing at the square on the calendar, January 1st, 2029. You're listening intently. You've offered your love to your future self, and your future self is pouring out to you. And then this, and then this, and then this, and then this wisdom, and this nudge, and this thing, and we're going to create this, and we're going to do this. Build it, build it, build it. Build it. Build your future self like a 5-year-old. Something to tell you, right? Hey, 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 hey. Feel it, build it. And then when you feel like you've built it enough and you can't help but grab that pen, open your eyes, go to page 20 and 21 of your workbook, and stay in this space. Same as tenure. We want to stay in this space where we're some conscious mind. We're conscious enough to be awake and to grab our pens and to listen, but we're a little bit in our unconscious mind as well. We've opened our hearts. We've opened our bodies. We've created this energetic connection. And start to write. Write as fast as you can. It doesn't have to be neat. It doesn't have to be orderly. Could be bullet points, could be single words, could be feelings. Capture it. Capture this goodness. I love seeing heads down. I can tell pens are moving quickly. I can tell you that your future self is saying, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for visiting me. I can promise you that just like you offered to your future self love, that your future self is offering it back. I love you. I am so excited for us. Let's go. We've got 3 years. We can completely rewrite everything. Try to get at least 1 or 2 thoughts in each of the domains. A great question came up. This is a beautiful question. What if I can't envision my 3-year? When I try to see the 3-year, my 10-year shows up in my mind over and over. You know what's so beautiful about that? Your future self knows. And that's your future self saying, it doesn't take 10 years to make that happen. Let's do it in 3. Why not? That's your future self loving you and believing in you and saying, we don't need a whole 10 years to make that happen. I'm telling you, the you of today may think that it's 10 years, but the you of the future with more wisdom and experience and knowledge and guidance knows that it will only take 3. So write it down on the pages in your workbook for 2029 and just believe that that's what's possible. I love that question. That's so beautiful. That probably came up for most people in one domain or another. I love how intently you all are writing. It's clear that there is so much flowing through you. Keep that up, right? When we take the energy to create this energy, right? Energy begets more energy. We want to honor that and we want to let it flow through us. Even after you end the workshop, if you have a little more time in your schedule tonight, stay in this space and keep writing. Keep writing, write as much as you can. It's like when you come out of a dream, the more you write it down, the more likely you are to remember it, instead of you go brush your teeth and then you completely forget the dream. The thing about visioning is you can always go back. You never lose your future self, but let's honor the effort that we put in tonight. And write it down, write it down, write it down. And then if you feel so moved and you feel ready and you'd like to share maybe a summary sentence of your 3-year vision or one piece of it that's really resonating with you, maybe something that surprised you, something you're really committed to, whatever it is for you, pop that into chat so that we can be together. We are social creatures. And so much of what separates us from all of the other animals is that we do things in community. And when we see others saying, hey, this is possible for me, hey, I'm going to do this, hey, I believe in this, it activates that sense in our own selves. It's like holding up a mirror to ourselves. It's one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, is the gift of mirroring each other's wonder and excellence and visions. There's something about declaring it. A question that came up yesterday, beautiful question, was, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it was, maybe I feel a sense of a limiting belief, like I shouldn't share my vision before I've started. And I'll offer to you that that's the saboteurs in our mind. That's the part of our mind that wants to protect us and shield us off and wall up our heart. And what I'll offer to you is that as language-based beings, with our frontal lobes and the language centers in our mind, when we put words to something, we make it so much more real. That's the whole reason humans start to have memories around 4 or 5 years old, is because they have enough language to be able to describe what it is that they're remembering. That's called explicit memory as opposed to implicit memory. And so when we write it down and we share it with one another, we make it more real for our own selves. We increase the chances of our own self being able to accomplish what it is that we want. Roya said, my daily spirit of tranquility, abundance, and impact. I love those 3 words. Beautiful. You guys are just going at it. You're just journaling. I just love it. I can't describe the amount of joy I have right now watching those of you who have the screen on. And I trust that those of you with the screen off, you're writing. And even if you needed to listen podcast style tonight and you haven't had a chance to grab your pen and paper, give yourself the gift of doing it. Maybe it's when you catch the replay tomorrow or you make some time this weekend, whatever it is, give yourself this gift. Just a couple of hours of visioning can completely change the trajectory of your year, your 3 years, your 10 years. Destiny shares her 3-year vision, growing my family by having a second baby, growth in my career, and saving to buy a new home. That's amazing. Lauren shares routines that breed confidence and safety enough to be spontaneous instead of chaotic. Nancy asked, do you have recordings? Yes. So we'll get the recordings out as early as we can the next morning after each visioning workshop. It does take a little while to convert these very large files, but our team gets them out as quickly as we can. Yeah. All right, well, I want to share with you guys what we have coming up for tomorrow. So speaking of the example of sharing and of being a mirror to each other, look at these 2 beautiful souls. Dr. Aditi Reddy is here on the left with the pink on her shirt, and Dr. Whaley Gray is here in the white shirt. We have the Freedom Framework, Visioning Success Stories. Guys, we are in for a treat. I am going to guide these ladies and facilitate through a conversation. We have not rehearsed it. We've not scripted it. We've not planned it. I am in for a treat as much as all of you are. We're going to talk about how visioning has shown up in their lives, what they've created. These 2 ladies have created very different lives from each other. Excuse me. That's part of the reason I chose them, is because I want you to see how you can create whatever it is that you want in your life with visioning. There's no prescriptive path that we have to take. We don't have to create a life that someone else wants us to create. We create exactly what it is that we want. So we'll have a conversation, like a fireside chat, like you can imagine. We're all getting together at a cozy coffee shop. It kind of snowed for the first time a little bit here in Minnesota. So I sort of imagine us coming together in like a coffee shop around a fire and just having a chat, a time to be together. There's a couple pages in your workbook where you can take notes, jot down what inspires you. I am absolutely positive that these 2 ladies are going to have a ton of words of wisdom, a ton of quotable quotes. So you'll want to have your workbook to be able to jot down what comes up. It's going to be a really amazing night. It's a time that we can receive in the first 2 nights of visioning, and then in the nights on Thursday and the implementation coaching on Saturday. We're doing a lot of work. It's a lot of joyful, fun work, but it's work. It's a lot of creation of energy. And this day 3 is a time for us to receive and to have our energy filled up and to have our energy poured into examples of what is possible so that we can take that into the creation of our 1-year vision, our quarterly planning on Thursday, and then our implementation coaching where we're shattering limiting beliefs and we're getting through any potential obstacles in our bonus implementation coaching on Saturday at 11 a.m. Central. I want to share with you just a few more quotes from alumni in Freedom and Legacy Blueprint so that if it's on your heart and you have an inkling to join us, you can hear a little bit more from the people who have experienced it firsthand. Dr. Wendy Lynn shares, the coaching felt like being part of a family. I learned things I didn't even realize I needed to know. Dr. Victoria Schenkel says, Elaine helped me find the confidence to finally step into active real estate investing. Her mindset coaching is priceless. And Dr. Courtney Downs says, Elaine showed me how to focus on progress and grow in all areas of my life simultaneously. You've heard that in my coaching and the visiting workshops. These 8 domains in life, they're all interconnected. And when one rises, the others rise, and we can grow in all areas of our life simultaneously. We can have abundance in how we think about our own growth. There's no scarcity in our own growth. If you were one of the first 5 people who sign up tonight before 11:59 Central, you'll get a deep dive one-on-one call with me in 2026. Well, we will coach through whatever it is that's on your heart. I have no agenda for that call. It is exclusively for what you want to create in 2026. And then I will create for you a personalized, recorded, guided visualization. Everything is right here at this QR code, freedomandlegacyblueprint.com. We'll make sure you get that in your email as well. It would be an absolute honor to have you in 2026. We get started with our first 2 calls in December of 25 so that there's no latency between our visioning workshops and everything that we're going to create in 2026. I will see you all tomorrow, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Central. We'll be joined by Aditi and Whaley. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And then we'll get back to work on Thursday. We'll create our 1-year vision. We'll do our quarterly planning. You will leave that session on Thursday feeling really certain. My hope is that right now you're feeling really expansive, really joyful. You really have a sense of like, wow, like what could I create? I hope you're adding things like or better, or more, at least. You're adding qualifiers to the things that you're writing in your vision. And then on Thursday, we're going to bring it home and we're going to make it real. And then Saturday's that bonus session. We'll get this replay out as quickly as we can in the morning, or if you're listening to the replay, thank you for joining us that way. It has been a joy to be with you all tonight. I can't wait until tomorrow. I can't wait until Thursday and Saturday. Be active in the Facebook community, introduce yourself. If you have questions about what's coming up for you in your vision, pop those in there. Myself, my team, other members of Freedom and Legacy will answer those for you. I want to hear what's coming up for you, right? If you're thinking about how you can maybe provide me with a little joy this week, I want to know what's coming up for you in your visions. When I sit and I watch you guys on these little boxes, I'm like, what is she writing? What is he saying? What is she thinking? I have so much curiosity because I can see your faces and I can see those arms moving as fast as possible. I'd love to hear it. If you want to pop it in the Facebook community, that'd be amazing. Shoot me a DM, however you want to get it to me. I am your #1 fan. I am a cheerleader for you, and it fills me with so much joy when you introduce me to your future self. Get some rest, my friends. Enjoy the day, and I will see you tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Central with Aditi and Whaley. Good night, everyone. I love you. I love your future selves. Your future selves love you. Good night.